So Bob and I still have our hats on because we've been out all day shooting pictures and video. We've come to the Slot Canyons Inn in Escalante, Utah. And some people say Escalante, some say Escalante. We'll leave that up to you, but this is a wonderful place. We're actually 5 miles outside of town at the Slot Canyons Inn. And Joette Marie, tell us a little bit about why you started this place, very briefly, and how many rooms you have.
We have 8 rooms, 2 are suites that will sleep 6, and we loved the land, and it wasn't really our idea. A friend said, you know, if I lived on that property, I'd build a bed and breakfast, and we were thinking that we would retire here, but probably needed to go back to the real world, and so now the real world comes to us.
And tell us a little bit about, when you just said the real world comes to you, who are those people? Where do they come from?
All over. We had a couple from Beijing walk in one year in January without a reservation.
And I know you get them from all over the country, from every state, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know, I've been passing by this property for years on Highway 12. And every time I come by there, I go, I gotta check out. That is the coolest looking property. So what I like about this property is it's an independent boutique inn. And it fits uniquely into this area. It blends in with the scenery. Was that, who came up with the concept of the construction design?
Because we are, on an archaeological site and pictographs and petroglyphs, I wanted to be Native American, and I wanted to be Frank Lloyd Wright too. The cliffs are kind of flat, and I thought, yeah, flat roof, that would be great. So
it really does have kind of an Adobe style look to it here, but it blends in perfectly with its surroundings. It really is ideal for this location, and I'm really excited. The interior is beautiful as well. Who did the interior design?
Well, it's kind of a group effort. My daughter is really good, the man down the street that does the beautiful chairs, and just kind of, meandered through, figuring it out, and kind of came together. I decided I wanted to have some part of helping to build it, and so my son was doing this fireplace, and I said, oh, can I help? And he misunderstood me, and he got everything ready for me, and then he went out on a date or something, and there I was, putting the bricks in there, whatever those stones are. Anyway, it was...
So it's a lot of your touch here in the building itself. That's great. And I highly recommend that you come and stay here, because this is what I like about this. From Mark, you and I have stayed in so many different types of hotels and properties around the West, that these are the kind of places that have more of a homey feel, where it's not just another hotel on the side of the road along the route.
Let's talk about what makes it different. Just across the street is the Grand Staircase National Monument. Actually begins across the road, right? You also got a river coming right down. We'll call it a stream, a river, but when it's heavy flowing, it's a river. And it flows right down past the property here. We saw wild turkeys out there this evening, and Bob was chasing after them. And just in the back here, they've actually had a university came in and did a complete dig for a long time, many years in fact, and they have found people lived here for over 10,000 years, and they found all the remnants of that in different layers. And there are petroglyphs and pictographs back here on the rocks behind here. This is a large property. There's a lot to do. The Grand Staircase is across the street, but also behind us is Boulder Mountain. Boulder Mountain goes up to over 11,000 feet right behind us. There are 80 lakes up on Boulder Mountain.
When I plan tours, or when I plan just my own personal trips, what I like to do is what my wife refers to as nesting. I call it hubbing. I like to set up where I can set up a hub and then stay there, unpack and stay there, and not have to go from point to point, unpacking, packing every day, and stay at that hub and just do day trips. And this is ideal because we're just a short distance from Bryce Canyon. I mean, how far are we from Bryce Canyon from here?
About 45 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a really short distance. Like you said, we're right next to Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument. And then Capitol Reef is just down the road east of us, and so and then lots of recreation. I got to tell you, you're really close to the Hole in the Rock Road, and down that road, what are you going to find down that road? I mean,
Slot Canyons.
The name for this place came from the fact that there's so many around here.
Yeah, it's names like Spooky and Peekaboo and Zebra,
Coyote Gulch.
Coyote Gulch. I mean, there's a lot. This is the epicenter. Escalante is the epicenter to all these amazing adventurous places in and around.
And Joette Marie Rex is the host that you're going to want to have with us. She makes some of the best breakfast you'll ever have when you come out to this area. You're going to want to stay here for more days than you booked just because of that.
Which is included, right?
It is included. We think this is one of the gems that you'll find in the western United States. So come and check out slotcanyonsinn.com.